African Fighters Podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. First of all, I'm going to throw it to the gang. I'm going to go to Ebuka first. Ebuka, I've got a question for you, and that question is, what do you want to talk about?
My brother, how good is Usyk, bro? How good is this guy? That guy is, as that fight was going on yesterday, yeah, I can guarantee you, if both guys were on the same height, let's say, because don't forget, Fury has the height advantage, Fury has the reach advantage, yeah. Had it been that those guys were even in terms of that height and reach, that fight wouldn't have gotten to the eighth round 100% because Usyk would have stopped Fury in that fight. And this is how good that guy is. Is I don't understand what
Can
people
I
are
can
arguing.
can I jump in there to stress what you are saying, right? We know that in every sport there are different body types for different positions, right? If you are watching football, if you're a football fan, you know the big tall guys are likely a center back or maybe a striker. The shorter guys, stocky guys are the wingers. Same in American football, right? The quicker guys are probably the wide receivers. You catch my drift. In basketball as well, the tallest guys are the centers. The guys playing the center, the point guards are the shorter guys. So in heavyweight as well, we know traditionally a heavyweight fighter is big, tall, and massive. And that comes with so many disadvantages in the sense that mobility, footwork would not be as good, and speed as well would not be as good as the smaller guys. But Usyk is a phenomenon. I know you would probably think about Mike Tyson knocking people out in his heydays, but how did his career end? He started getting caught. You cannot live by a solid chin for the rest of your career as a heavyweight because those guys hit heavy. But Usyk is literally a technical fighter. He fought in amateurs, not in heavyweight. So that means definitely anybody he fights in heavyweight, he's got the speed advantage. He's got a better. He's likely to be more technical than that person because the lighter the fighters, the more technical they are. So for Usyk being in heavyweight, saying just to confirm what you are saying, it's he is like a different type of animal, and most especially for someone like a heavyweight like Tyson Fury. Isn't that what you are trying to say, Ibuka?
Yeah, yeah. Like the guy is just good, man. And it's I haven't personally all my years of watching boxing, I haven't seen someone just in that kind of you know in the fight, you can see him going through some adversity in some of those rounds. You can see the mountain that is just in front of this guy. You can see how big Fury was. You can see how sometimes Fury was trying to put his whole weight on him, but he still found
Yeah,
a way to get those punches in. He landed the more significant strikes. He landed the more cleaner shots, and he was just elusive. I
I
can't
think
I can
I
remember
think going
almost
into
two times. Yeah.
Yeah, I think going into that fight, you would know what the plan of Fury was. He came in heavy, very, very heavy, heavier than he has fought in a while. I think the last
Hmm.
time he fought that heavy was when he fought Wilder, and we know what he was trying to do. He was trying to bully Wilder, because what? But then, if he marches towards Wilder in a straight line, Wilder on his back foot is horrible because he does not have the same skill that Usyk does. So he actually got that knockout. He probably thought that he would do the same thing, match Usyk down, but Usyk was cutting angles. Usyk was stepping out of the way. Usyk was hitting strikes. We know that there was one thing that could have probably worked for Fury, which is the uppercut, and he never really utilized it earlier in the fight.
He
However,
tried,
I did
tried,
yeah, yeah, but
tried.
how technical Usyk is, right? Is crazy. He dance circles around Anthony Joshua, beat Anthony Joshua twice. Down circles around Fury, beat Fury twice. Demola, has he done enough to stay in the heavyweight, or does he need to go back to the cruiserweight again?
Okay, according to the Ring magazine, they say Usyk has completed boxing, right? I'll start by giving Usyk his flowers, big credit to him. However, I, for the very first time, I did see a fight where Usyk looked human, and I strongly I'm of the opinion that Usyk lost that fight. Usyk won the decision, but he did lose that fight. So we must always remember that as much as boxing is uh, entertainment, boxing is a sport, right? And there are academics when it comes to rules of scoring a fight, right? In line with the rules of scoring fights, right? Looking at each round, we have a 10-9 score, a 10-point scoring system, right? Usyk, Fury actually won more rounds than Usyk, and I was scoring the rounds, and in the professional, the experts are projections as well, right? I did agree with the experts. The two experts that were scoring, right, scored the fights in favor of Fury. My own personal scorecards were in favor of Fury, right? I did not stake any amount, on this fight, so I came in completely unbiased, right? So for me,
What
Fury did
experts?
well.
Which channel
You
did
know,
you use to
so,
watch it?
I don't.
I
So
think it was
I was
What?
I think it
I
was
was going to
TNT
say
Sports.
something,
TNT
right?
Sports.
You
Yeah.
if I think you bought the pay-per-view, didn't you?
Yes, I
And
did buy the
we
pay
watched.
per view.
I would say me and Ebuka probably watched it on the zone. So the different type
Yeah.
of broadcast. I do
Yeah.
know that there is a bit of bias when it comes to a British broadcast, when it comes to the Fury and Usyk fight, right? And as a viewer, when you listen to commentators, they kind of sway your judgment a little bit more than the eye test, right?
Yeah,
As casual fans, when casual fans argue, oh, it's a close fight, this person won, most of the times it's because of the commentary you are listening to. They convinced you that this person landed more shots. But if you actually watch that fight, you would see that, yes, there were some close rounds. However,
Mhm.
whenever Fury was picking up momentum, he had his moments, but those moments were very brief. When he started picking up momentum, Usyk would intelligently halt it. And all
Mhm.
that time that Fury is not picking momentum or doing anything good, Usyk was dominating the fight. So in my own scorecard, I gave Fury only 4 rounds. I only saw him winning 4 rounds clearly. Everything else I gave it to Usyk. And in the broadcast I watched, there was Anthony Joshua also had a scorecard, and in his scorecard he had uh there was just 1 round in between them. Uh
yeah,
Usyk won with one more round.
one
But
round. Yeah.
Okay.
damn, to say that Fury won that fight, there was a not is this guy called Bob
I mean,
Arum? What's the name of the guy?
TNT
What's the name of
broadcast
See,
for
so
Frank
so so
Warren
so, so
anyway.
now so now we have
Frank Warren?
Carl Frampton
Frank
and Steve Burns were the guys, were the experts that were scoring the fight.
they're British guys. So, but
But I am not British.
I'm not saying your judgment is wrong. Oh. I'm just saying that
At the very least,
in my own opinion, I feel like the commentary probably swayed your judgment. I
it
I
was
feel
a
like
close fight.
if all three of us go back and watch that fight without muting the commentary and just watching it without the audio, right? We come back here with scorecards. I'm pretty sure we give all the fight to Usyk. That's my own opinion. Usyk took the center of the ring so most of the fights. Only times that Fury took center of the ring was only a few times, and you could see that Usyk would be seeing, oh, okay, so this guy is taking the center of the
And,
ring, and then he starts
and
switching,
the jabs.
starts doing that, up and down that he's doing. Even though, you know what, I feel like any casual that watches this fight will look at it and be like, okay, big guy versus small guy. I think they would side with the small guy because of what the small guy was doing with skills. Even though, in my opinion, the commentary team when I was watching the commentary was saying, "Oh, boxing clinic, highest level of boxing, da da da." I was like, "This is boring. Nobody's actually scoring obvious points." Right? You want to see people actually scoring obvious points. When I say obvious points, I mean a clean strike, and then the crowd go, "Ooh, we only saw a few. We only saw that a few times." In my opinion, it was very, very boring. But Demola, you are of the opinion that Fury won that fight, aren't you?
I'm of the
And
opinion that Fury.
can you defend that opinion?
I can't defend that opinion, right? Because it was a very, very close fight. So I would say, let me see. Out of the 10 rounds, I think I did give Fury six, yeah, 6 rounds. Because when it comes to scoring, combat sports, right? You look at the volume mixed with the damage, right? And that is what really is the first criteria. And then before you look at the aggression and the cage control, ring control, right? So Usyk was more of the advancing party, right? He was the hunter. Usyk was the hunter, right? Fury basically was throwing counter strikes and using the jab, a very, very educated jab to distort the rhythm, right? Usyk's movement is artistic, right? It's beautiful to watch. He's just like a Muhammad Ali reincarnate. He's got the same height with Muhammad Ali, same birthday with Muhammad Ali, right? That physique, the smaller, muscular, trim physique allows you to be fast, right? To evade the punches, right? But in terms of punches landed, I would like for us to see that statistic, right? Fury, I think, should have more, punches landed, especially with the jab. And, it's a point system. It's point fighting as much as it is a combat sport, right? It's point
Yeah,
fighting. And in terms of point fighting, volume matters, right? Volume and damage. He nearly he did rock Usyk, right? With that uppercut that landed at some point, but I think Fury was basically being too cautious because he gave Usyk too much respect.
I'm good. Demola, you have someone in the comment section agreeing with you. Big shout out to Tiffany Movani. She says that they try to convince you with commentary. It's a bit biased depending on the streaming platform you're watching. And she also said, but from watching the fight, I believe something went wrong with the judges. I personally think Fury won. This is another British bias. There's no way this person is not from England. Actually, we know that she's from England, but yeah. but but to be honest, Tiffany, I would recommend go watch that fight again, and at this time, turn off the
Remove the
commentary
comment.
volume,
Yeah.
remove the commentary, watch it in mute, and then have your pen and paper and take the score and use the
So what's the
10-9 of
criteria?
football score system.
What's the criteria for scoring?
So, in my opinion, with my eye test,
Mhm.
it's simple to me. I don't have to go very technical. If I watch a boxing round, the person that is pushing the pace, the person that is landing more, the person that looks like he's making the other person uncomfortable. I don't want to be waiting for stats to pop in my screen to say, oh, this person has more shots landed. I I trust my eyes to see, okay, it's clear that this person won the 10th round, won 10 and the other person scored 9. It's almost like um it's when they are like close rounds, that's what is
Mhm.
a bit difficult. When I see close rounds, then I would have to look for moments in that round, moments where maybe he landed the jab and then the neck snapped back a little bit. That's when I'll be like, okay, so this person had more moments. Maybe I would lean towards this person. And using that logic with my eye test and also noticing who is making the other person uncomfortable, who is making you do more switches, who is flinching to faint. All those things with my eye test I can tell. And watching that, I could tell that Fury won. Going into the 12th round, I was like, it's a knockout for Fury to win, or else he's going to lose. Even if Fury wins that round, that was my opinion. I ended up giving Fury only for 4 rounds, and that was the earlier rounds, in my opinion. How about you, Ebuka? How did you score it?
No, I mean, I already said that I think Usyk won. I think Usyk basically took over in the second half of the fight.
Mhm.
Tyson's main wins were in the first half. I think in my opinion, he got like out of those 6 rounds, he probably got maybe three of them, 3 or 4 of them at most. And then in the later rounds, he took maybe just one you can give him, in my own opinion.
Mhm.
And it's not about what happened was the moment Fury had something going, you would see that just like in the Batavia versus Bivol fight.
Mhm.
Yes, that one. Maybe in that one, I actually thought Bivol won that one, but that's a different conversation. But just like in that fight, you can see that Usyk was coming back towards the end. He was always finishing well. You could see he was just so sleek. He was just so good. He was just, despite all the disadvantages that I think he has physically in that fight. But I think he just found a way to win. That's just the way I'll summarize
You know,
yesterday's fight.
I I like this conversation we're having. What I'm going to do. Demola says he wants to present something. What is it you want to present, Demola?
The scoring system for boxing.
Yeah,
Okay,
go for it. Go for it if you have it ready.
so here we
I'm
go.
going. Oh,
So,
okay.
so,
Let
so
me add to the
basically,
discussion.
it says, what do boxing judges look for?
So let me read this to the audio listeners. What do
Okay,
boxing judges look for? Here are the following areas in which boxing judges are encouraged to determine who won or lost a round. Effective aggression. Being aggressive gives the impression of dominance, but unless the boxer is landing shots and not constantly getting countered, it isn't really effective. Judges look for effective aggression where the aggressor constantly lands punches and avoids being hit by the opponent. essentially
keyword
what I was
effective.
telling you, essentially what I was
Mm-hmm.
telling you with my eye test, the person that is pushing the pace of the fight. Ring generalship,
What?
the fighter who controls action and enforces his will and style. Again, s- goes to Usyk. Usyk took the center of the ring every single time. In the most time of the fight, he was taking the center of that ring, and um, only in a few cases we had Fury take the center of the ring. Um, Next is defense. How well is a boxer slipping, parrying, and blocking punches? Good defense is important. Can you remember how many times did Fury actually land a shot? And count how many times did we visually see Usyk
Mm,
land a shot at Fury? You obviously will put that in consideration. And the last one is hard and clean punches to the untrained eye. It can appear as if the boxer is leading a lot of shots when in fact most are being blocked and aren't even landing flush. A judge needs to look for hard shots that land clean. And again, this comes back to what I was saying, Demola. In my
You
opinion,
see that?
in my opinion, Usyk had more of those clean strikes.
landed. Yeah,
Here's another
yeah,
here's another thing.
I agree.
After every round, they try to show a bit of highlights of the key moments in every round. And after every round, it looks like they're only showing the highlights of Usyk. There were a few of Fury, but you would see most of the highlights were of Usyk. And again, in my opinion, undoubtedly,
Yeah,
this
that's
fight
another
isn't
thing I
even
wanted to say.
yeah. This
That's
fight
another thing I
wasn't
wanted to
even
say.
as
Usyk landed the
close.
more
uh,
clean shots. Yeah,
yeah, this fight was
certainly.
not even as close as people deem it to be. In my opinion, it was a clear, obvious win for Fury and for Usyk. If you remember, so here's another thing, right?
So
One of the
who
things
landed?
I'm going to make one more point, right? And that point I'm going to make is Riyadh season, they are obviously in this for making money and making big fights. So many times they try to put heavyweight boxers to win so they can meet somebody. For example, they tried to make that Wilder AJ fight, but Wilder got beat a couple of times. And they'll call the fight the way it is. If Wilder had won, it would have favored the Saudi and their boxing promotion. If Fury had
Yeah,
won this fight, it would have favored the Saudis. That fight that you like, that Bivol, what's me that guy name? The one that they did last
better
year,
Yes,
beer,
better
earlier
be
this
it.
year.
Better be it.
That
beer.
one.
Hmm.
That one. The fight, the winner of the fight was not favorable to promotion for the Saudis, including this Fury Usyk fight too. When the fight was being announced, the winner, Toki Al Sheikh was literally standing next to Usyk to put the belt on him before they even made the announcement, because everybody around the ring and their mothers knew that Usyk won that fight. Do you understand? So I don't think I don't think it's even that close for a debate. If we are going to be like,
Yeah,
in pro wrestling, we've seen Kobe Covington do this, right? In pro wrestling, when you lose, you try to cling on a narrative that makes it seem like, okay, you can come back and fight again. Kamaru Usman defeated Kobe Covington twice. And every time, even the first time they fought, Kamaru Usman even broke Kobe's jaw. But Kobe came out saying Usman was cheating. He was cheating. He was eye poking.
Yeah.
He was faking eye poke, doing that, doing that, doing that. And then that is a narrative that he could use to be like, I'll need a rematch. And they did the rematch. Usman clearly won the rematch. Even Kobe congratulated him saying he won. But after the fight, he came back saying, oh no, that's fake referees,
Yeah.
dara, 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 dara. You have to cling on narratives so people and casual fans will be like, yeah, he needs to fight again. I feel like that is what was going on. The propaganda started. That Tyson Fury manager for Queensberry, Frank Warren, he
Yeah.
said,
Frank Warren. Yeah.
yeah, he he held the scorecard in the middle of the ring and was
Yeah,
like,
like
I don't know. I don't know what these people are
how?
looking at. How is this? They already started pushing the narrative for Fury to get back
How?
in there. So that's how boxing promotion works. You would
To
have
be honest, that
to
is how I
sugarcoat it.
felt. There's no way you would say Fury did not win any of the last 6 rounds.
And and then what happened when Frank Warren was making that claim in the post fight interviews? People were booing him in there like, hey, boo, you think we're idiots? Boo, we know who actually won this fight. So we already know what this is. And I enjoyed this conversation so much. I'm going to clip it and put it on YouTube. And you know what the caption is going to be? The caption is
What's it
going
gonna
to be
be?
your face, Demola, saying, Usyk got robbed.
Usyk did get wrong. I stand by
Okay.
it.
Oh, yeah. So now the caption will be true.
Mm.
If you are watching the clipped version of this video, this is the end of the video. This is the end of the segment. And Demola did actually say that Fury got robbed. Yeah. I think we've
Let's move
spoken
on.